Hey everyone, welcome to Habits for Happiness session 2. It's amazing to be live with you here again. If you're watching this on the replay, a huge thank you to each and every single one of you that are committing this 5 days for your growth. It's amazing. Let me have a look who's online right now. Ellie, good to see you. I'd love to give you a shout out. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. Sahil, thanks for joining. Zazu, good to see you here. And I just want to take a moment to say, thank you so much for all the tweets, all the Instagram moments. I've been following all your stories, all the tweets that are coming in saying how much you gained from yesterday. Now, if you missed yesterday's session, don't worry at all. You can always go back and watch the replay. If you're late to this session, you can watch it on the replay. And remember to check in every single day for the next 5 days. But most importantly, don't forget our 5th and final day, because we'll be choosing one person to have a private phone call with me. So that's going to be awesome. So make sure you tune in on Sunday. But here we are for day 2 of the 5 Habits of Happiness Challenge. Thank you for tuning in here. Yelena, good to see you. Happy you're doing so well. Isabel, Miriam, Stacy, Yari, Serafin, good to see you. Radhika, good to see you. So as you're coming in online, let me know how much you learned from yesterday. What did you take away? How was it going to sleep? Writing down 3 things you're grateful for, and waking up, writing down 3 things you're grateful for. How do you feel from it? I want you to monitor that throughout the day. How much were you more grateful? See, when you make something a habit, it means you're able to bring it back throughout the day, even in tough times, even in difficult situations. So I really hope that you benefited from yesterday's session, and I can't wait for you to start today's habit. And thank you so much. Honestly, I just want to thank you again. I saw all the tweets, I saw all the Instagram stories. It means the world to me that you're gaining so much from these sessions, and that so many of you are feeling so much value from tuning in. That's all this is about. This is my service to each and every one of you, wanting to serve you, wanting to help you, wanting to give you happiness habits that can really make a big difference. Now, habit number 2. Can you guess what it is? Do you know what it is? Habit number 2. Habit number 2 is get together. Get together with other like-minded people. Get together with people that you want to grow with, right? Actually, I'm going to change that. It's not get together, it's grow together, right? It's grow together is habit number 2. Now, the lack of social connection, the lack of friendship has caused so many big issues in the world. Loneliness is reported as one of the biggest challenges in the world today. And I know that I have friends connecting with me, contacting me, sharing that they feel the same. Now, I actually had one friend who messaged me a couple of weeks ago and said to me, Jay, I'm feeling really lonely. I'm feeling really disconnected. And I asked him why. I said, we've got a similar friends group back home, and we can connect with them, and he has access to them just like I do. And so I was wondering why he's feeling lonely. And he was telling me that he was feeling lonely because he was trying to connect with a certain group of people, right? That he felt was similar to him, but actually he realized that they weren't. Now, this is why I'm talking about growing together. And I want you to stay tuned in on here, that so often we're trying to fit into a particular circle when actually the circle that would help us grow is in a different space. Now, the most amazing thing about circles is that we realize this as we grow older. As we grow older, our circle gets smaller in size, right? And I'm trying to remember the person who said this. Let me have a look. I want to make sure. So I believe, I'm just taking a look here. I can't remember. Don't quote me on it. It's an incredible message by someone. And it was said that, as we get older, our circle shrinks in size, but increases in value, right? And that's really what we all should be aiming for, that as we grow older, we realize we have less friends, right? There's less friends at your birthday party. There's less friends at Friendsgiving. There's maybe less people that you hang around with. Your circle shrinks in size, but it must be increasing in value. And I think this is something that we miss out on. We look at the number of people around us. We look at the number of Instagram followers. We look at the number of Facebook friends. We look at numbers rather than deep emotional connection. When that's what we're truly looking for, what we're yearning for, what the heart is yearning for, is growing together with like-minded people. Now listen to this very, very carefully, right? We all know about eating healthy. We all know about working out, but often it's our social connections that makes the big difference. Now, Forbes reports that recently as last year, more than 23% of people in the US and the UK say they feel lonely. And loneliness or low social connections can lead to mental and physical health issues, which we've all experienced, that can be difficult to overcome. It's one of the top reasons for counseling and therapy, which there's nothing wrong with and highly recommend for those that need it. And it's also seen to increase and create a rise in anxiety and depression. Now, according to Stanford Medicine, not having social connections is more harmful than obesity, smoking, and high blood pressure. It's insane. Now, I actually interviewed a doctor on my podcast, which is coming out soon this week, and he was talking about this, that a lot of his clients were telling him that they were struggling with loneliness, they were struggling with anxiety, they were struggling with health issues. And simply by creating the habit of connecting, having one meaningful conversation a day with someone they loved, and meeting up and having one meeting per week with someone that they loved, their life started to change, right? Their life started to change. And this is what we've seen in my genius community, in my coaching community. We've found this incredible thing where when we're growing in a community, when you're growing with others, you grow faster and it lasts longer. Right? When you, for example, if you've ever started a yoga course, or if you've ever started a workshop or whatever it is, when you're growing with other people, and they may not even be your friends to start with, you grow faster, you grow smarter, you grow wiser, and you grow together. So social connections are so significant in health. Often we just think, oh yeah, I'm surrounded by people. But you can be surrounded by people and still feel lonely. You can be around people and still feel lonely. You can be with people and still feel lonely. So what is that change? What is it that I'm truly recommending? How do we really go deep into our social connections? That's what I want to decipher today, because we all know we need more friends. We all know we need to be connected to people. What does that actually mean? And how do we do it in a way that's great for our health and well-being? Now, one of my favorite things that I've found in this space, and a habit that truly is life-changing, is one of the biggest mistakes we make is that we just spend time with people. We get together and we hang out, maybe watch some Netflix, we get together and we drink, we get together at a bar. That doesn't count, right? News alert, that doesn't count. What counts is growing together. The fact that you and your friends are tuning in right now to these lives and then discussing it afterwards. Why? Because that's not just getting together, it's growing together. There's a difference, and that difference is what makes the difference in your happiness. See, the habit of getting together with the same people, how many of you have been seeing the same people year on year on year, week on week on week, but actually, when you come back from spending time with them, you feel tired, you feel bored, you feel disengaged, you feel misunderstood, right? That's what we're really seeking. But that doesn't happen if we don't grow together. So let me give you some advice on how to grow together. One of the things I massively recommend is doing an activity or a workshop or a class together. Now, this could be a gym class, it could be a yoga class, it could be a hike. Ideally, it's also good to do something that neither of you are experts in. So it's a beginner stage for all of you. Now, I want to give you an example of this because it truly is the best example. When I started working in the corporate world, I worked for a company, and in that company, the first 2 weeks, like this is the first 2 weeks you join the company, you don't know anyone. The first 2 weeks, you're sent off to Chicago, which sounds amazing. It was amazing, obviously from London. And you're at this training center, and you're in this training center for 2 weeks. Now, the training center is not near anywhere in Chicago, so you can't get into the city. You can only go to the city on the weekends. So on the weekdays, you have to entertain yourself. Now, you're with a group of people. We're with a group of about 80 people that we've never met before, right? Never met them before. And you're away already. And the most amazing thing happened. Every day after training finished around 6 p.m., and it was cold at that time in Chicago, right? It was winter cold. And it was I think it was around November time, but it was freezing, right? It was really cold. But every night after training, the guys and the girls, we would go out And there was basketball courts, there were football pitches, there were all of these different tennis, all these sports. We all decided to play volleyball together. Now, none of us had ever played volleyball, and we were playing volleyball in the snow. But I have to tell you this one thing. It was the most bonding experience we've ever had. Everyone within 2 weeks, by the end of it, we were all really close friends. Everyone wanted to play volleyball when we got back to London. Now, we never managed to do that because we didn't have any snow and there weren't many volleyball courts, I guess, if that's what they're called. But the bond that was created, why? Because we were playing something that everyone was on an equal playing field, everyone was learning together, and everyone was having a good time. That's how you form true relationships. When you take part in activities, when you do a course, when both of you are growing together, when you both have a unique experience together. You can't always have that in a conversation. You can't always have that in a coffee. You can't always have that in something that you do every week. Like, you don't get that from going to a bar, right? That just doesn't happen. You don't get it from going to a bar. You don't get it from going to a restaurant. It's unique in the sense that both of you are getting the opportunity to experience it. That's what it means to grow together. This is what is real human social connection. Your phones are away. You don't even want to look at them, right? You don't need to take pictures of this, right? And you're doing an experience together. There's a word in Sanskrit called Sangha. Sangha, say Sangha, right? Sangha. And Sangha means to associate with like-minded people. What it means to do really is to deeply have experiences where you grow together. That's what it truly means, to deeply have experiences that you grow together, right? It's really, really, really important. And I couldn't encourage more of you to do it because it makes such a difference in our lives. And this has to be once a week, right? We have to be doing this once a week. We can't just say, oh, I do that once a year, I do it once every quarter. It's not good enough. We need to be doing it once a week. Becky says, this has just opened my eyes. This is exactly how I feel. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I've lost all of my social connections. And that is so normal when people lose their jobs, or when people stay home, mums or dads to take care of the kids, or when your life gets busier. It's so easy to become lonely. It's so easy to start living alone and feel lonely when actually you've just become disconnected. Right? Ricky says, noticed a massive difference with this subject when I joined a new workplace with a great team who are like-minded, provide a lot of support and constructive advice. That's amazing, right? So for so many of us, it's not just that we have headaches. It's not that we are struggling with our health. It's none of those things. It's really that we're missing human connection. By human connection, I mean face-to-face, one-to-one, human touch and embrace, right? Hugs are meant to be incredible for, hugs and what they do to us. I want to share with you some of my notes on the science. Listen to this, right? This is from Healthline, and these are the benefits of hugging. Hugs reduce stress by showing your support. When a friend or family member is dealing with something painful or unpleasant in their lives, give them a hug. Scientists say that giving another person support through touch can reduce the stress of the person being comforted. It can even reduce the stress of the person doing the comforting. Right? It's insane. Hugs may protect you against illness. Hugs may boost your mental health, right? One group had romantic partners hold hands for 10 minutes, followed by a 20-second hug with each other. The other group had romantic partners who sat in silence for 10 minutes and 20 seconds. People in the first group showed greater reduction in blood pressure levels and heart rate than the second group. According to these findings, an affectionate relationship may be good for your heart health, right? The benefits of human touch and being able to look into someone's eyes, right? We're looking into screens. We look at screens more than we look at eyes. We touch phones more than we touch hands. We embrace our issues. Like, we hold on to them so tighter than we hold on to people we love. Right? These are challenges. Write that down. That's just so powerful. We look into screens more than we look into people's eyes. We touch our phones more than we touch someone's hands. We hold our phones more than we hold people's hands. But all of these things, these basic things, make such a big difference. Now, the amazing thing about hugs, and this is a spiritual technique. So your heart, when you hug someone, it should be a heart-to-heart hug. So usually it's left to left, right? It's left to left. So your heart is here. And so when you hug someone, you lean in on the left. Left to left becomes a heart hug. and make sure that that hug is at least 20 seconds, right? And it may seem weird at first, but don't let go. Make it 20 seconds. And when I say 20, you'll probably settle for 10. That's what I'm saying, 20. Make it a 20-second hug, right? Make it a 20-second hug. Your partner, give them a hug in the morning. Your children, give them a hug in the morning. Your best friend, give them a hug in the morning. Your parents, give them a hug in the evening. Whenever you see them, have that embrace. Don't just keep it as something casual. Make it a thing. Like literally make it a thing. Have I had my morning hug? And don't just do it for your benefit. Do it to give them benefit. Do it to give that person love. Don't just do it for your health, right? Do it to give that person love. And you may be saying, Jay, this is so woo-woo. No, it's not. It's scientific. I just told you the studies. Right, I just read to you the studies on embracing and hugging and the difference that it has, right? Lynn Baker said, thinking back to kindergarten, they were teaching us that when we would get in a circle and hold hands, absolutely. And for so many of us, we get into this perfectionist mentality. We start saying, I don't have the right friends to hang around with. Right? I'm not around the right people. Now, I want to let you in on something very, very important. So where I was born and raised in London and where I got involved in spirituality, I have a very strong spiritual community in London. Me and my wife then moved to New York around 3 years ago, and we found another spiritual community. Not as strong as the one we had in London, but we still found one. Now, when we moved to LA, so many people said to me, they said, Jay, you're going to a place where there's no spirituality. You're going to a place where there will be no Sangha. You're going to a place where you won't find like-minded people. You know, it's going to be really, really tough for you in LA. And we said to ourselves, me and my wife said to ourselves, we said, well, if there is no community, we're going to create that community. We're going to attract that community into our lives. We've had 2 beautiful events at our home with some of our close friends this year already. And I have to be honest, what it has shown me is that there are spiritually like-minded people everywhere. Do not sit with your ego in a place where you're like, oh, there is no one who gets me or understands me. Make an effort. Push outside of that. It's so easy, right? It's so easy to sit on that ego and be like, oh, there's no one as spiritual as me. No one quite gets it. No one understands it. I don't know who to hang around with. I'll just spend time on my own. And guess what? You end up lonely rather than giving people a chance. Go to a meditation class together. Go to a yoga class together. This is what I mean. They don't make the pressure about either of you being the guide. Go to a guide. Go to a mentor. Go to an event. All right? Go to an event, grow together, right? Pao says, I just feel that I don't belong. Everyone's so on all the time in LA. I have small talk conversation with lots of people, but I really miss having those people around. Right. And you have to build that, and that gets built through experience. See, sometimes you can't fast forward from small talk to a deep conversation, but small talk can go into an experience or a class or a workshop, which leads to a deep conversation. That's why it's so important to do an activity together. Right? Monica says, I love this. Here I thought I was weird for actually hugging and holding my boyfriend first thing in the morning. Amazing. Valerie says, I feel this. I'm a total introvert, so it's difficult to make connections, but I do crave it and open up when I'm in the right kind of setting. Right, so you have to create that right kind of setting, because if you keep waiting for it to be created, it won't happen. Me and my wife did that in LA this year. We started creating these settings, right, for our friends where everyone could come together and have deep, meaningful, shared experiences, right? It's all about shared experiences. Stop relying on someone to create the experience that you want, right? That's never going to happen, right? Stop relying on someone to create the experience that you want. We have to create that experience. Now, it's also equally true of having an immersive experience with other people, you know, and this is amazing. Pam says, this is so amazing. Since joining the Genius community 6 months ago, the flow of positivity and interaction with you and the awesome community of people has played such a huge role in the transformation in my life. And I've made a whole new support, evolving circle of friends. There you go. And this is the thing, that you're going to find people with similar values if you go to places with similar values. I'll give you an example. If you're saying, Jay, I don't have the right friends, but you spend most of your social time in bars, at home alone, or at just birthday parties or whatever, that's not necessarily going to find people with similar values. But let's say you go and help out at a charity together. Now, one of our friends in LA, she opened up a dollar store in downtown LA, and we went to support, and we bumped into other people there that we connected with, right? When you go to a charitable event, when you go to support a place where something amazing is happening, that's where you find like-minded people. I know people who've got married to people that they met in that way. I mean, I met my wife while we were organizing a charity event, right? That's where I really got to know her. And I really feel that that's how you meet people beyond what you do for work, how much money you make, your social circle, your friend circle. You meet people in places where there are similar values, right? You meet, if you go to help out with your local charity this weekend, you're going to meet people who have similar values. You're not going to find them just standing around the street corner in your building, right? You're going to find them in these places. And so when you decide, right? When you decide to go and take part in this voluntary experience, in this charity experience, that's when you're going to come across people who truly, truly, truly are going to feel like your own. And this is the challenge. We have to move out of our homes. We have to get out of that space. Jenny says, Jay, this is great, and thank you for doing this. How much is this impacting you? How many of you are listening to this and thinking, wow, this is right? Terrell says, charitable event, love it, like-minded people. Exactly. You have to go places to find people of similar values. You're not just going to bump into places of people of similar values on the streets or in the grocery store. You have to go to the place, right? You have to go to the place to find them. You have to make that effort. And this is what, if you're feeling lonely and you're feeling no one makes an effort with you, you have to ask yourself that question. How much effort am I making? How much chance am I giving others? Am I alienating people by saying there aren't people like that around me, right? Fatima says, help support homeless ladies on a Friday evening. It's amazing. We talk, hug, or just give them a smile. If you get together, imagine you got your best group of friends together, the right people, and you started serving together every week. Can you imagine what would happen to your relationships? Can you imagine what would happen to your mood if you were all serving together every week? Right? It's amazing. And this is what I'm saying. So the first example I was saying is have an experience together. This is an experience where you're growing or learning, right? Growing or learning is one type of experience. You're going to a workshop, you're going to a class, gym, yoga, fitness, health, etc., right? Workshop class, mindset class. I'm doing an event in LA, lots of people are coming to that, right? That's kind of growing together. The second type of experience is serving together. So you're doing something where all of you can serve together. So when you grow together, what happens is you now have a meaningful relationship where you can talk about deeper things because you were both exposed to a level of wisdom. That's the power of growing together. Now, when you're serving together, you now have a unique experience with that person where you're emotionally touched, not just intellectually, but you're emotionally connected because you are able to serve together. You are able to see the change in people's lives together. You will be able to see people be happy because of what you did for them, right? And the third one is to play together. So grow, serve, and play. With the third one, it's playful. So I'll give an example. Me and my work team, and you may say, Jay, I can't believe you do this. Well, I love this kind of stuff. Me and my work team recently went to a place called, I forgot what it was called, but it was trampoline dodgeball. So you're on trampolines, but you're playing dodgeball. Now I was playing this with all of my team, my editors, my videographers, all of my team. It was amazing for bonding. It was fun, it was competitive, it was playful. We were all laughing and joking afterwards. Then we went out for dinner. Like those experiences create the bond of putting down hierarchy, putting down boundaries, really having fun with people. So this is what I want you. Every week, I want you to choose one of these activities to do with one person. And you may do different activities with different people because you may have some friends that are just great for play, but they're not going to be the ones you grow with. And you're going to have some friends that are great to serve with, but they're not going to be the ones you play with. And that's beautiful. If you can mix it up after a while, that's great, but there's no need. This is what helps you recognize that the same friends you have fun with don't have to be the same friends you serve with, and the same friends you serve with don't have to be the same friends you grow with. This is our challenge, that we want all of our friends to be everything. So many times people say, oh, I have a lot of fun with my friends, but I don't have deep conversations with them. We have to create a space in our life where there are people that we have deep conversations with, right? So grow, serve, play. These are the three kinds of human connection that we need in our lives. Grow, serve, and play, right? Really, really important in our lives. And we need all three of them for different reasons. So I want you to ask yourself for the next month, right? So every weekend you now have 4. Grow, serve, play, alone. All right? Grow, serve, play, alone. So that's your month plan. Every week, I want you to have at least one meeting for one of them, right? So that's enough. So you may say, this week I'm going to start with grow. Next weekend, I'm going to do serve. Next weekend, I'm going to do play. And the fourth weekend, I'm going to spend alone because I need some time to myself. And there's a difference between being alone and solitude. There's a difference between being alone and lonely. Sometimes we need solitude to refuel. Sometimes we need solitude to rest. Sometimes we need solitude for space. Sometimes we need solitude for stillness. There are those times, they're very much needed. They are also a happiness habit. But at the same time as that, we have to create time to grow, to serve, and to play. Right? We just have to. We just really, really have to create time to grow, to serve, and to play. And that is your month plan. So this habit for this day is to schedule time with friends to grow, to serve, to play, and then of course to be alone. And when you're together, focus on others when you interact. Show genuine curiosity and interest in their thoughts, their feelings, their actions and experiences. When you do any of these experiences, lock your phones away. Right? Lock your phones away. Use yesterday's approach to taking a mental picture. And you can take a picture at the end or at the start. Do a before and after picture. That's the way you do it. Do a before picture before you do this activity and do an after picture. And that will be even more memorable than if you were taking pictures the whole time. Right? It will be even more memorable if you do it that way. And in this interaction, make an effort to deeply listen and understand. See, what we're really lacking in our human connection is understanding others and feeling understood. The reason why we come back from an event or a meeting or a conversation and feel down is because we don't feel understood. But we don't feel understood because we've never seek to understand. And Stephen Covey said this in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He said, seek to understand, then to be understood. And that is something we could all change. Am I really listening to understand? When I'm reading your comments, what I'm really doing is seeking to understand what benefit you're gaining, how you're learning, what's actually helping you. And that's what really helps me, right? That's what really helps me. I would not be able to do what I did if I did not seek to understand, right? And share in a way that you're understood. Articulate yourself, really express yourself in a way that people can understand you. Now, this is what we've created in the Genius community, is this real intimacy of sharing, this real intimacy of connection where people are able to build that bond and go deeper together, right? And the other thing is, you can do this online too. Like our Genius community is online, and creating an online community of people you love. You may say there's not people in my area. I believe there are. And the amazing thing we've been able to do is we've evolved Genius from not just online to offline. So we have meetups in a lot of cities across the world. And so what I want you to do is both, I'm talking about offline right now, grow, serve, and play, because I truly believe that there are meetups in your area. We've created them. They exist where you can have these opportunities to grow with other people. But at the same time, I would encourage you all to create these online. And this may be a FaceTime call. Right? It may be making sure that every day you're going to have a FaceTime call, not when you're distracted everywhere else, but you're going to have a FaceTime call where you are going to look into the screen and have that human conversation with someone. Right? You can be happy on your own, Juliana. I love that. I love spending time alone too. I get that. But it's so important to have the other too. All right? This is great. I'm just reading some of your comments. How is this helping? Is this connecting? Is this going to a deeper level for all of you? This isn't just hanging out with people. This isn't just spending time with people. It's designing experiences, right? It's designing experiences. Why? Because when we have experiences with people, it changes us forever. It really forms memories with that person. It forms a new bond with that person. It's so different. It's so different. Now, so that is the habit for today. The habit for today is to create experiences that help you grow together, serve together, play together, and then have your own experience on your own. And you can have experiences on your own. Could be going out for dinner alone. It could be going on a walk alone. It could be seeing your favorite movie alone, whatever it is. Like, we can all have experiences on our own, but we have to realize that these are experiences. They're not just, we just leave it to chance, right? We end up only meeting people at events, at birthday parties, or whatever it is. But we need to make a difference. And I'm going to add, this is something I'd love for you today for your social connections. I want you to, this is combining yesterday and today's habits, right? Combining yesterday and today's habits. I want you to write a letter or a text or an email to someone expressing gratitude. This is going to form a deep social connection. I want you today to pick one person to send a meaningful text, a meaningful email, or a meaningful handwritten letter to, and I want you to be so specific about gratitude. And I want you to send it to them, and I want you to schedule an experience with them. So I want you to send a letter of gratitude to someone, a text, an email, a letter, and I want you to schedule an experience with them, either to grow, serve, or play together. That's what I want you to do today. That way we are combining yesterday's and today's habits. And all you have to do is just one of these a week, right? It's just one of these a week. That's it. But I want you to schedule it today. Erin says, I love this, just the perspective I needed. I've been meeting with people in my life, but we haven't been creating growing experiences together. Trust me, Erin, it's so common. Angela says, this is great. I'm going to apply all of this as I move forward in my life design. I miss feeling connected. Absolutely. Need to get an experience for me. I have great experience for myself and my best friend with great memories. Awesome. And you want to create new memories, right? You don't want to have friends that you've got memories from 25 years ago, but you haven't created anything else, right? So remember that. Actually, I'm going to reorganize them. So for your connection to really move forward on a journey, you need GPS. Grow together, play together, serve together, right? You need the GPS in your relationships. Grow, play, serve. When you grow with people, play with people, and serve with people, you're going in the right direction. That's your GPS. That's your navigation system. That's what you need. Without that, you constantly feel like you're not going in the right direction in your relationships, because your relationships are really stagnant. Your relationship with the same conversations, the same places. Trust me, it will make a huge difference. Even me and my wife, one of our first activities was this thing, which was like an obstacle course. And it was just so great for bonding, right? So great for bonding. So what I'd love for you to do is share what you've taken away on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Share it using the hashtag Habits for Happiness. And make sure you tag me at Shetty on the platforms as well to let me know. And I really want you to do that. GPS, right? Grow, play, serve with people. Remember to schedule find your local class, find a book launch, find a reading, whatever it is, a book club, whatever it is, and make it consistent. Consistency is so important in community. You don't just change your life with meeting someone once or having one vacation a year. It's consistency. You have to see everyone every week, right? In my coaching community, I go live like this every single week, because when you hear the reminder every single week, it builds and it builds and it builds and it builds, right? And so this is your new navigation system. When you're wondering, why are my relationships not good? Ask yourself, do we grow together? Do we play together? Do we serve together, right? That's what I want you to ask yourself. When your relationships are not heading in the right direction, are you growing together? Are you playing together? Are you serving together? It's so important. It will change the way you navigate your relationship. Because right now we start thinking, oh, does that person trust me? Do I love them? Are they right for me? I think you start asking those questions rather than, have we been on an experience where I can see whether we connect? And maybe you'll do an experience and you'll be like, we didn't quite connect. Okay, let me find someone else. That's the whole point of it, right? That's the whole point of it. Now, the other thing I want to make sure you show up every single day. Remind everyone in the group to show up every single day as well. And remember that on the 5th day, on Sunday, we will be picking one person who turns up on Sunday to have a personal phone call with me. So make sure that you turn up. Make sure you encourage everyone else to turn up as well. Share your notes in the group. Make sure people watch the replay. Help your friends watch this as well. I can't wait for you to see this. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed today's session and got so much out of it. If you missed yesterday's, go back and watch it. If you missed today's, then share it. Thank you for watching on the replay. Thank you for being in this community. I hope you're all connecting with each other as well. So grateful. Have an amazing week. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. See you then. Take care, everyone.